Hi guys, it's Mrs. Gray. I'm so glad that you decided to join me today, because today we're going to make our very own real-life functioning habitat. Okay? So we're going to make something called a terrarium, which is actually a little tiny mini habitat that's completely self-contained, and it recycles all that it needs to stay alive within its own system. So inside this jar will be our space. If you think back to the last time I saw you guys in our habitat video, I told you that any habitat needed 8 essential things to function properly. And that was a space, which is what this is going to be. I said that we needed a cycle with balance and flow. We needed a combination of living and non-living things. We needed gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide. We need nutrients, water, light, and energy. And all of that stuff is going to be combined together inside of this space, and we're going to have a fully functional mini habitat. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a layer of little tiny rocks. And these layers that I'm going to put in are going to provide like a good filter for all of the water and all of the little living bacteria and fungi that live in here, so that we don't have things like mold growing and lots of harmful toxins and stuff building up. So we have the rocks in our first layer. Then we're going to put in a layer of charcoal. So the rocks on the bottom provide drainage, room for drainage for the water. The charcoal is so cool because it soaks up all of the toxins that are put off by the living and non-living things inside of our habitat. So I'm going to put a nice layer, maybe about an inch thick. And it's also really cool because in a cool habitat like this, in terrarium, you can see through the sides of it. And so in the sides, you're going to see all these really cool layers. So first we have the rocks, then we have the charcoal. Alright, our next layer is a layer of this cactus mix. And it's just a really densely combined mix of soil, and I think there's some vermiculite in here. And the reason that I'm putting this in and not just regular dirt, again, is so that we have good drainage, because we don't want things to sit and get stagnant in here, because then all of our plants will die and things won't have that balance like we talked about, our cycle and our habitat having a good balance and a good flow. So there's the cactus mix. Then put in one more layer of just regular old potting mix. So we'll put that last layer on the top there. Pretty cool. You guys are going to have so much fun doing this. I definitely have fun doing it. Okay. I'm going to put a couple handfuls of this because I don't want it to settle and be left with not enough. Okay. I'm going to ask my awesome cameraman Jackson to come a little closer and show you up close all the layers of this cool terrarium. I'm not sure if you can see them, but you have the rocks in the bottom, you have the charcoal, the cactus mix, and then the topsoil or the potting mix. Alright, so I'm going to give it a little shake to pack it all down. Then I'm going to put in our next part. Now I also said we needed, so far we have a space. We have the foundation for our cycle that will provide balance and flow, which is our layers of dirt. The next thing I'm going to put in is our combination of living and non-living things. Now, I know that you guys understand that plants are all living, okay? And I'm sure you're wondering where the non-living things are, and that's going to be in things like the dead leaves that are in there. Some inside of here, there are little sticks and little pieces of debris like this, and those are not living. And those things are important because they're part of the cycle. When things break down, they give off carbon dioxide and oxygen, and then the plants take in the carbon dioxide and put out oxygen, and then the plants take in a little bit of oxygen to use for energy, and that puts out more carbon dioxide the plants will use to eat. And then so there's this constant recycling of everything. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is put in our plants. I'm going to squish these up a little bit so we loosen up our roots. I'm going to pull it out. Check out that bad boy. Now, this is going to be tight in here because we have all sorts of dirt, not a lot of space. So I'm just going to break it down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to try not to hurt my plant. And then I'm going to go inside here. I'm going to dig a nice hole. I'm going to put this plant inside of my bottle here. Now that guy's a little tall, and that's okay. It'll look really cool when you fill it all up and your plants grow. They'll fill in a little bit and it'll be really neat looking. So there's the first one. I'm going to put in this guy here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all these in here, so I'll just put in as much as I can. Alright, so there's our second plant. Nice. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of these, so I'll go ahead and put in one more. I think that I'll put in this little guy here, because he's kind of sad. I think he needs a new home. Oh no, I just broke him a little. Alright guys, so now that we've planted everything, we've got our layers of soil in here, we have our space defined. Now we're going to do two more things. We're going to put in rocks, pretty much because they're pretty, and they'll make our habitat look even cooler than it already does. So we're going to spread those all around the top. And then, after I put all of our rocks in and we like the way it looks, oh, everything's going to blow away. Then, I'm going to take my glass of water, and I'm going to put in probably about 8 ounces of water. Now this is the only water I'm going to add to the habitat. This terrarium is self-serving. It will self-cycle. All the water will recycle, and I won't ever need to water it again. So I'm going to put in my 8 ounces of water, watering all my plants. And I'm going to close it up and call it a day. Oh, and I have to set it in front of the sunlight in my window so that they get all the light that they need from the sun. Alright guys, now it's time for you all to get excited to make your own habitat, and we'll go through this step by step in class. See you then!